A question from Shazad. Can you put some posters up for me next Sunday?
Um,
What it is corner shop. They're doing a special deal on 8-to-date chocolate. Hello, welcome. I don't know why we're fucking laughing. Welcome to the second episode of this. I'm joined by an old familiar face to my YouTube channel. Once a wild rock and roll band promoter, now an independent councillor. I'm here with Paul Maiden.
Evening, Jimmy. It's been a while, hasn't it?
How are you doing? I've got lots of questions for you from the people. I have a community kind of thing on live chat.
Should I be worried?
No, it's a similar community to Colonel Cuts in the Jungle in Apocalypse Now. He had these crazed followers who hung on his every word. Yeah, we've got lots of questions, but first of all, I want to kick off. Yeah, I am using it. This is like a Scrubbers auto cue. We're not fucking about. We've had loads of complaints. Oh, your show has no structure. You need some bullet points. Well,
bullets.
These are the fucking bullet points. First thing I want to know is, how was the transition from controversial rock band promoter to councillor? Do you sometimes...
That's an easier. What was controversial about being a rock band promoter?
No, he was always shit-housing on Facebook and causing bother with people.
Not me, that.
Do you never feel now you're restrained at the leash? In your public life and your Facebook posts? Do you ever feel that you kind of like...
Have you seen my Facebook posts?
I don't fucking bother with it as much now. I had to fucking deactivate it the other day for controversial reasons. But
my Facebook posts have always been, I've always tried to keep them factual and revealing. Whether you don't like that, that's nothing to do with me. And, people are offended by everything these days, aren't they? So it's like, just put the facts out there and debate the facts. That's all I've ever been on Facebook, really.
But do you know, like when you're in the town hall and you're surrounded by all these grey men, you're a flamboyant figure, and I went in there and I got thrown out because I was defending Bob Briley from the gallery.
You was heckling though, wasn't
and it was like the worst gig I've ever been to. It's fucking rubbish. And but did you ever feel restrained?
You can be flamboyant in there. I mean, because there's some great public speakers in that town hall. But like most public speaking, it's got to be done with a set of rules, and there's a time scale, and you've got to talk within the parameters of the subject. They do try and shut you down. I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen the videos of me in the town hall. If it's a bit controversial and it's a bit off topic, everybody's off topic in there, but it always seems with me and Bob Briley, what I shut down and go, oh, you can't talk about that, it's off topic. Like the last town hall meeting I was at, Molyneux, the leader, was talking about the deal and how good Wigan Council was because it's been Council of the Year. And I countered that and I give examples of why I don't think it's Council of the Year. He didn't get shut down. Even though it was a budget meeting, the mayor decided to try and shut me down.
Mm. Well, basically, sorry, I said that a lot. Yeah, when Bob Briley was speaking, at the time I went in, nobody was listening to him. I looked at Peter Smith's face and he was just not listening to him. And that's why I got kind of angry and shit, and they weren't even listening to what... So do you think it's obviously not a level playing field, and it's a completely predominantly Labour setup, and like they don't really want to listen to what you've got to say, do they? Do you have a chance in there to actually make a difference in that setup?
Yeah, I think I do. I think that you can make a chance, yeah, because it's like even if you just letting people know what's going on in there, you sort of scrutinising and saying, hey, look, everybody, this is what's going on, and then let them decide who they vote for every year.
Yeah.
You can only make an informed decision if you have all the information. Yeah. And it's like any authority; they only want you to have the information they need you to have, rather than let everybody have all the information and make a decision. Because to me, omission is as bad as lying, and there's a lot of omission with town hall documents, and anybody, not just Wigan, in all aspects of politics.
Have you ruffled any feathers?
Absolutely.
You've been a strong defender of Wigan Market, haven't you? And what's been going on?
Yeah.
What's actually? Can you explain to anybody who's not really clued up to the market situation?
Well, the market is run by Wigan Council, and a lot of them are local lads. They're not multimillionaires. They're not big business people, and I think for a long time they've had a rough end of the stick. You've got people in the council who run Wigan Market. They've never run a business. They get paid the same salary, no matter if there's one market trader in there or 300 market traders in there. I think that's wrong. You should be on a sliding scale depending what sort of volume you put through that market. My main fight with them, the first one I got involved with when the Veterans Hub was going on, and they wanted to put the Veterans Hub in Wigan Market, move some of the market traders out the way. But the veterans didn't want it to go in there, and the market traders didn't want it to go in there. So that was the first time they asked me would I get involved, and I did. And then towards 2018, they brought in VAT on the rents for the market traders. That's still going on. I did get a bit of a victory there, because what they did, if you weren't VAT registered, you didn't have to pay VAT, but if you're VAT registered, you have to pay VAT on your market stalls. And there was all the shenanigans going on, saying HMRC came in and they said this and this, but HMRC, when I looked, and I actually phoned HMRC up, said we can't come into a council and investigate them, they have to be invited in. And then, if you remember, the council had bought the galleries for 8 million. And it's this fine line between commercial aspects of councils, private and public. And a lot of people thought, and I was one of them, but I'm not 100% sure on it, did they register a business interest so they could get the VAT back on the 8 million? I think so, and then they thought the market traders under the buzz with it.
Do you think ultimately they want all the market gone? All that kind of...
Yeah, because there's some people in Wigan Council, not all of them, and I'll say this on record, they're not all bad. There's some great people who work there. And a lot of the problems is the leadership, like I said in the last town hall, a fish rots from the head downwards, and that's what we've got here. I think people have ideas of what make Wigan work, what doesn't make Wigan work, and we have a lot of gentrification, what I call it now. Where they're trying to move into the swanky wine bars. Yeah. And try to take away the heritage of Wigan, like the little coffee shop, the little pie and peas.
We pay like £6 for a fucking goat skin latte.
Yeah, and there's a market for that, but councils shouldn't be sticking their nose in it and dictating what people run as a business.
Yeah.
Let people say, right, I'm going to have a go at this in my business. And let them get on with it.
So they're pandering towards people, the middle classes and this kind of what you call gentrification.
Yeah, gentrification.
They want to usher that in.
Yeah.
And like lose the heritage and shit.
I mean, you just need to look at the house building. It's like how much social housing is getting built in Wigan.
There's a question here. This isn't very slick. It's not question time, but that leads me into an interesting question.
I don't want to go into you.
No, it's nothing nasty. We have a question here from one of the regulars, Mashed85. That's just the name. They can't
is that the level we're at?
But they can't give the real names because of legal reasons.
Well, I'm not surprised with me and you in a video, Julie.
Why do they keep building on greenbelt land and when brownfield sites are available? And what are your views on the Greater Manchester Spatial Framework?
Well, Greater Manchester Spatial Framework was something I helped to protest, and so did a lot of people.
What actually is it for anybody who doesn't know?
The Greater Manchester Spatial Framework was part of the devolution Manc, and it happens all over the 10 boroughs, the 10 regions in Greater Manchester. And it was sort of like the Northern Powerhouse, where basically it's a free-for-all for developers. They want to build on Greenbelt because it's cheaper than building on Brownbelt, because Brownbelt's always got industry under there, it's already got laid tarmac. If you can have a fresh slate where you just lay all that concrete, you don't have to dig up all concrete and you've got mining and pit subsidence and all that. Off you go, you're straight into it. It is a difficult one with the green belt because people don't want to see it go. But they always say it's the Tories' fault at central government, it's their fault. But the underlying decision, it lays with the planning department at Wigan Council. They get to challenge it and get to take it to court. Only under, certain circumstances should be allowed to build on Greenbelt.
There was that place at Marris Bridge. Have they built that?
Yeah,
they built a big warehouse on that.
No, they've not gone ahead with that. It's been called. That's 97 football fields of Greenbelt land.
Well, I know a fella, Sean Ryder's cousin, Sean Ryder's uncle, Willie Ryder. Basically, he had a house over in that area, surrounded by fields, and they stamped this order on that you had to move out. Obviously, someone's lived there in such a beautiful
purchase,
and just ripping people's lives up for, just for commercial gains kind of thing. It was pretty disgusting.
There are a lot of it. I mean, we've called that into the Home Office, and I have a go at the Labour Party, which I'm there to scrutinise it. And fair play to the MP in Makerfield, Yvonne Favog. She's been on board with this, and she's called it into the Home Office.
Is she Labour?
Yeah. Okay. You can call these decisions into the Home Office where it's like, this has been called in 3 times now. You've got me on the spot with it now. So I think it's 3 times it's been called in, and hopefully it'll get turned over a 3rd time, because for one, that area there is one of the most polluted places with the CO2 levels.
Okay.
And it's like, you're going to be bringing more traffic in. You're going to be getting traffic slowing down at that roundabout and coming in and out. You're taking away trees, green, all this sort of stuff, what absorbs carbon. So it's like, you're going to be contributing more carbon, and, the air conditioning in Wigan is pretty bad.
Do you think it'll go ahead? Is it 50-50, or is it kind of in the...
No, I've got to take the stance where no, it's not going ahead. I can't give any ground, so it's like my fighting position is no, it's not going ahead. So people don't want it going ahead.
You have done some good then?
It's not really for me to say, is it? I can only come on here and say what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And, let the people who vote and people who watch these videos decide if it's good, bad or indifferent.
Would you say that some councillors you get in just sit there, take the money and don't do anything?
Yeah, absolutely. There's some people never spoke for 5 or 6 years in that town hall.
Really, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I got told when I had me try being a politician, another one of my fucking failed attempts at it.
You're not having another go then?
No, my heart wasn't in it.
I know, your heart's got to be in it,
My heart wasn't in it. I was just doing it for narcissistic reasons and to stick one up them,
A lot of people do.
And but basically, what I was told was, I've wrote to this local MP about this rubbish and this and that, and they don't even get back to you.
Oh, yeah,
they don't even live in the wards, so they're not arsed. They live in big houses at Wigan Lane or wherever, and so it's indifferent to them. They just turn up, take the check, and it's just.
Well, I've had this a few times, and as you know, I'm an independent. I don't think national politics, you can sort of bring your national politics ideology to a local area. I mean, 90% of what I do is casework. You're looking on emails, bins not been emptied, somebody's auntie's been made homeless, can you get an house, can she get more points for bidding? No, that isn't determined by a left-right paradigm, any of that, is it?
No.
And if Felix Floyd's watching this, there you go, I've mentioned left-right paradigm. I'm always getting stick for mentioning that.
Because it's one of your things, it's one of your phrases.
It is, because I don't really do left-right paradigms. As I tell people, some aspects of society needs a socialistic approach. Some aspects of society need a free market approach, and everyone should be taking it to each individual merit and say, public transport, I'm not happy about public transport being in the free market. I think that should be, socialised.
While you're onto public transport, what do you think about the cycle lane at Newtown, Saddle Junction? How much did they spend on that?
Well, they got a lot of money from Greater Manchester. I forget what it was. You caught me on the spot again. I could have come up with all these figures for you, but
sorry, I'm not looking for MI5 trying to dethrone you.
It's not that. It's not being. There's so many different aspects you can ask me. So it's like I'm not quoting any figures, so you're not hammering me with any. But that cycle lane there, it's like Well, it doesn't lead to anywhere, does it? It stays there then stops, and it's just like another vanity project. Plus, the pushbackers don't use it, do they?
No.
I mean, I see people going up and down on the path, and it's like we've got this money, let's spend it on that. Let's spend it on that. And that's the trouble with local government. It's like, just get the money and spend it. No thought. Somebody's had to work hard for that tax money. And, you know, excuse the language, I'm not acting in my remit as a councillor here, by the way.
We can edit it out, CGI.
You don't need editing anything out, I say. It's pissed up the wall, and people have worked hard for that money on a vanity project. On, you know, just so, if we spend that this year, we'll get more money next year. It's wrong. It needs re-looking at from start to finish, all local government and national government. The waste is astronomical.
Do you think, where humans are concerned and there's large pools of money at their disposal, there is always a natural propensity for corruption?
Absolutely, of course, yeah.
Yeah. And do you think a lot of the things that get built because people have had sweeteners or...
No, unless I've got evidence, I can't really go with that.
I'm not talking about any specific venture or project, but do you think it kind of it goes on?
Yeah, of course it goes on. You know, you've got, you know, I mean, it does go on, don't you? Because you have lobbyists in Parliament.
Yeah.
You know, they're lobbying to get a good deal for A, B, C, D or E, whatever company they're running. And, you know, I think Trump's banned lobbyists, hasn't he, from America, which is funny because he's a businessman and a lobbyist himself.
He's great, isn't he?
I'm not getting into Trump. It has nothing to do with me here in Wigan.
Well, I kind of like Trump. He don't give a fuck, does he, basically? We've got another question here from Viffa. Hello, Viffa.
Viffa?
That's the names. They send me money, so it's cool. Will Wigan always be a Labour town, and is it a dictatorship?
Is it a... Okay, let's address that one. I mean, I get that all the time. You never do anything in Wigan, Paul. It's always been a Labour town. Well, I'm here. I'm here as an independent. Stood, put my leaflet out. So it's one of them. It's like, well, if I can do it, there are sharper, you know, better people out there for this job than I am. So if I can go out there and win an election, then so can you. And don't have to be part of a political party. As long as your heart's in the right place, you want to make a difference in your area, and you're honest, and there's no, and you're not weak. You know, you get, there's a lot of pressure to sort of go with certain votes and go with certain things. If you stick to your convictions, you'll be all right. And we're going to always be Labour. Well, look at Lee. They've just returned a Tory MP. You know, best part of 100 years it's been Labour. So, yeah, it can happen.
Do you think, though, that Wigan is more dyed in the wool and it's in the DNA of Wiganers to be Labour? Because when I went round doing my rounds and you get around folk coming out and they say, well, I'm not happy with what's going on, but I've always voted Labour.
Yeah, I had that, and I still get it today. I've always voted Labour. I mean, we as independents get, well, we'll vote for you locally, Paul, but we always go back to Labour nationally. Yeah. That's entirely up to you. I'm not standing nationally. As long as you're voting for me locally.
Yeah.
You know. And you could show some people evidence and off evidence. They're so dug into the position, they're never going to believe you anyway, and it's just like, well, leave them to it. Let them do what they're doing. They're happy voting for this. Let them carry on. You can't, you know, start shouting and screaming and bawling, you're wrong, you're evil, you're this, you're that. They're entitled to their opinion and vote which way they want. Your job is to say, this is what I'm going to do, or this is what I'm doing. Why don't you give me a chance? You know, some people do, some people don't.
Do you think the Labour Party's a different party now than what it was initially?
Yeah, it's left the working man. It's not a working man's party anymore, as you've seen. Nobody knows what it is. It changes from week to week, month to month.
You've got Sir Keir Starmer now in charge, haven't you, kind of thing?
I've no issues with anybody like that. I mean, Tony Benn was a lord, wasn't he? I mean, Tony Benn reflected the true Labour ethos.
But from what I know about this Starmer, he rejected the Jimmy Savile kind of thing. He overlooked that and the grooming gangs in wherever.
CPS, when he was in charge of the CPS. Yeah, there are problems with the CPS. Was Starmer a problem and part of it? Maybe, but the trouble is with a lot of these bodies, a lot of them now can't think or make decisions independent of government.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I'm not defending the CPS, by the way, I think they're an artma. They were independent. You know, it's like the police seem to be being politicised. You know, I'm not having a go at the police, but they should be allowed to operate independently no matter who's in government.
Mm. Yeah. I forgot I was going to fucking say.
Frankie, this is a...
and what I was going to say was...
this is a more pressing interview than I get at Wigan Evening Post, Jimmy. Do you not want a job there?
No, they don't like me. I think I called the editor's girlfriend a nasty name on Facebook once, so then you get things like this. Eventually, you know. It's
I like the Wigan Evening Post. I'm getting back into promoting, so
which leads me to a question. How's your foot? No, that will ask you thereafter. We've got pages of YouTubers who want to get to the truth, and I've got a question.
I think the truth will set you free if you can bloody find it.
What the question was? Do you who was it who asked that? It's Tom Morris is here. Hello, Tom. Do you think you would have been dealt with as harshly for your fly posting if you weren't a councillor or an independent councillor?
I weren't a councillor for the first lot, but I was causing a lot of trouble and exposing stuff on that Wigan Council, what you're doing to our town page.
Do you want to promote the page?
I expose a lot of this, and so does everybody else. It's a page where people can come and have a whinge and a whistleblower. I don't delete any comments. There's no discourse shut down. As long as you don't start effing and jeffing and personally having a go at people, anything can go on there. And I started the Wigan Council, what are you doing to our town? Because I thought the press and certain questions weren't getting asked of the council, so I set this page up. And it's got to about 3,500 people, and you know, some people say it's a disgrace. It's it's I hate Wigan Council, but it's like it's just holding people to account and scrutiny. And if what I'm saying on there is not true, hold me to account. You can come on, and anybody can come on that page and debate. There's Labour people on it. There's Tories, independents. Come on it and debate. That's what I encourage. Because if you don't debate, you never got good at debating, do you? You've always got to debate with somebody who's better than you.
Humongous asks, how do you get... Humongous asks, how do you get into the civil service? Any advice for him?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
The civil... well, it's weird. What do you mean get into the civil service?
I mean, he wants a job, and I think he's got a degree and he's very clever.
He wants a job. It's so diverse, the different aspects of civil service you've got.
It's expansive, really.
Yeah, I mean, from, every aspect you can imagine. It's government interfering in everything you do, mate, so it's very diverse.
What did you think of the Vice That's Padge Guitar, who, incidentally... this is a bit like a mentally ill version of Tony Hart's gallery. Padge Guitar drew this picture of Ronnie Foster. I think it's quite good, actually. You think it's a bit homoerotic, don't you? He was changing. Anyway, yeah, we'll edit that bit out. Do you want me to do this again? No. I think it's good, actually. I'd put it on T-shirts, but it's not mounted to profiteer off. Anyway,
it captures you. Is that a good thing?
I don't know. It's his where it is. But he has asked, what did you think of that Vice documentary we was in?
Is that the Brexit one?
Yeah.
Like I said again, they interviewed you. They interviewed. I don't know how to word this. But there was a lot. He interviewed me for 10 minutes, didn't he? And then he put about 30 seconds or a minute.
And he had Keith the Thief shouting, "Send them all home because they've got jobs."
Well, and it was wrong really to interview Keith because Keith's got some mental health issues, and and that was what they did. They went round there looking for people who. They were looking for a narrative, weren't they? And they didn't really get one, so they sort of omitted a lot of stuff.
Well, interestingly enough, when I was with them, they interviewed a transgender person who was pro-Brexit.
And never made it.
And a businessman who was pro-Brexit. And they were omitted from the final cut. But yeah, they get people who have certain people who they think will they probably got me on. They thought he's a bit of a knobhead. We'll get him on, but I kind of thought they were subtly pressing all the time for like the racist angle of Brexit. When I said to them, my thing was the centralisation of power. I don't agree with it, but they kept pushing.
They did have an agenda, didn't they? And it was like what they were trying to push to me is, did Wigan vote for Brexit because it's racist?
Yeah, it was like they was purposely blaming Wigan for Brexit, and it sounds like it kind of...
You know, people who are working class and not been to Oxford or Cambridge like we have. Not like there's anything wrong with going to Oxford and Cambridge. Have you been? Fantastic. Some of the greatest idiots I know have been to Oxford and Cambridge. It's like Wigan are working class. Or you can't have, you've not got enough propaganda stuff down your brain to make an informed decision.
Yeah, so that's answered that one. The Pad Your Guitar and the Vice documentary have answered humongous. We've got some very interesting questions, really. I think we should lighten it up, really, and talk about other things.
I thought I was lightening it up.
No, I know.
You'll be all right in that tone, aren't you? This is like entertainment.
I'm kind of like ADHD, me, though, so I'd be switched off. I couldn't do it. I can't. That's what I want to ask you this. One thing I've always admired about you, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, is your ability to debate. Is debating a natural talent, or is debating a learned art?
Oh,
have you always been a natural debater? You know.
I suppose so. Yeah. Not a natural debater sort of thing, but you just ask questions put them in a certain format, you know. But when I was younger, sort of thing, I had all these questions, but you don't know how to sort of put them over to people, do you? So you get hammered. But no, you don't become a natural debater, I don't think. I think you've got to sort of earnest your skill, and like I was saying earlier on, you know, you should debate amongst the best. So then, even if you get absolutely hammered, always debate with people who are better than you, because it sharpens you. It's like when you say if you're a sports personality,
chess player,
you play with people who are better than you, that automatically makes you better, doesn't it? Even if you get beat, it sharpens you.
So you can learn to an extent to debate, because you're kind of a natural debater.
It depends, doesn't it, really? I mean, some of them people in the town hall are better debaters than me. They're more eloquent speakers. But if you've got a conviction and you're passionate, them are the main two things.
You seemed a bit, when I've watched your earlier stuff, you seemed a bit like nervous, but now you seem to be in your own in the town hall, and you seem to have got your own kind of thing.
Yeah, that is sort of, you're sort of seeing where do you fit in with it all. I mean, what can I say in there? I mean, you know, I've dabbled with stand-up comedy. You can't come out with stand-up comedy material, can you, in there?
No.
Probably you would.
It's basically kind of thing. I forgot the fuck I was on about, actually. That's why I'm not a natural debater.
I'm a natural debater.
Is there any books you can recommend for me? Sorry.
Kafkaesque stuff for you.
Kafka. You're caffeinated. You're Kafkanated. But cut. What Manzis H says, he wants to know your musical preferences.
Oh, crikey. I'm pretty diverse, as you know, Jimmy. I mean, I'll listen to jazz, I'll listen to soul, I'll listen to rock. He does say I'll do like my prog rock and alternative stuff, especially the 60s California stuff. I like all that experimental stuff, you know. I mean, more mainstream stuff like Zappa and Floyd. Yeah, I wouldn't say I listen to one type of music or the other. I mean, if I like it, I like it. From, you know, hard metal to pop music to acoustic to, you know, Jimi Hendrix nailing a 2-3 minute guitar solo. I sort of love it all, really.
He says you have the look of a 60s progressive rocker. I think that's a compliment, really.
Yeah, of course. I've got a patchwork jacket. I should have come with that on.
You're probably the most rock and roll person in Wigan Town Hall. Do you think you are?
It doesn't say much of them in there, does it? I think my hair's not the longest. Somebody's got longer hair than me.
I just want to show this illustration sent in by Daniel Photography A-Level, who's one of the YouTubers a regular contributor to the live stream, and it's got the colours right and all that. But do I really like that fucking idiot? But anyway, it's a good drawing, isn't it? It's not too bad.
Pictured a good picture, that I think.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Anybody who wants it,
I've seen that on dating sites.
well, I used to be on Tinder and all that. I had to leave it. But anyway, we have a question here from Daniel. This is a bit of a deep one.
It sounds like a normal name, Jimmy. I'm worried about this.
Has technology gone too far? Will we get to space? Should we make it to space? Is it realistic? Will it do more harm than good? Is it our destiny to conquer the stars?
I know the bloody hell would I know about any of that. You're talking about...
He's a very deep young lad.
Well, okay, then let me see if I can dabble into that. You're talking about Type 1, Type 2 and Type 3 civilisations here, aren't you?
Wow.
Type 1 civilisation is, have you harnessed all the energy and power on your planet? No. Type 2 is, have you harnessed all the energy and power within your solar system? Definitely not. And Type 3 is if you've harnessed all the power and energy and resources in the galaxy. So, no, technology-wise, we're still apes, and we're still apes driving around in cars. So, are we likely to be extinct, then travel to the stars? Quite possibly. Because what is it, 99.999% of everything whatsoever lived on this planet species-wise is dead. It's dead, it's extinct.
Do you think, I forgot what I was going to say, it will come back in a minute, don't worry, we'll keep this in.
So we've got from Wigan Council to prog rock bands to Type 3 civilisations.
Do you think, I've lost it, what, I'm moving?
Microphone.
Oh, sorry. I blanked again. Leave it in. Do you think we actually have been to the moon? Or do you think Stanley Kubrick filmed it?
I think we've been to the moon, definitely. I think we've been to the moon and beyond. But what you see, them moon videos where it shows you the flag blowing and all that, it just doesn't look realistic to me. I don't know if it is or not. It's irrelevant. I can't dismiss it and I can't accept it. So it's one of them, like I said to you, Jimmy. If you can't prove or disprove it, just put the boot back on the shelf. It doesn't really affect you in your everyday life, does it?
That's one of the most... That's the phrase you said that sticks in my head with the conspiracy. It's all very fascinating.
Yeah,
and you can rack your brains all day where we come from and who's running the show and what they're up to. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, how is it affecting your day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can't go out to house if you see chemtrails and all that. You know, you just have... There's some things we can't change and you just have to kind of do the best for yourself, really. You know, but there you go.
I mean, the conspiracy stuff's great. I mean, I'll sit there and I just treat it as entertainment, like if I watch science fiction, Star Trek, and just treat it what it is. It's like, it's only somebody's subjective opinion, isn't it? 99% of the time.
Speaking of conspiracy, that's a good tenuous link. Do you remember the time we went to the Bilderberg meeting in Watford?
I do.
In John Taylor's Land Rover that was running on... There was chip fat. His Land Rover was running on chip fat.
Well, that weren't a conspiracy, was it? Because some of the most powerful people in the world were meeting in Watford, weren't they? What they were discussing, that was what the protest was about, wasn't it? Why is there no transparency with all these people meeting? Politicians, you know, business moguls.
Exactly. There's definitely something going on in there. The world is run by a certain elite group who don't want anybody else knowing what's what, really.
From the dawn of time, people have always tried to control other human beings and nothing changed. Like I said to you, everything's different, but nothing's changed.
I remember that time John Taylor was trying to get near the house, wasn't he? He was going through the woods in his Land Rover. Do you remember that? He was trying to go through the woods in his Land Rover. Because there was all guards there and everything.
There was.
And I shit him. I'm thinking, fucking hell, we're going to get shot here or like sacrificed in a basement or something. And but it was a good day, that. There was a lot of cranks there, wasn't there?
Yeah. Is that before we turned up or after?
Alex Jones was there as well.
Alex Jones was there.
Yeah,
he was upset because David Hart weren't there on that day.
Why was he going to debate him?
I don't know. I just... yeah, it was a bad day, that, wasn't it, really? I mean, you've got
It was the Land Rover with the chip fat. There's videos on YouTube of it, the Bilderberg, us in... I haven't removed them. I don't think they can damage your council standing, can they?
I don't think
Land Rovers with chip fat in. You dabbled in stand-up a while back. Was it something you'd like to return to at some point? Or have another go at?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you see me in the town hall. Some people say that's stand-up comedy, but no, I sort of enjoyed it. It's you're on the bones of your ass, aren't you, when you do stand-up comedy? There's no hard in anything. You're there for 20 minutes or half an hour, whatever, and 5 minutes of stand-up comedy. I think it's one of the hardest things you could. You think speaking in the town hall's hard, not compared with stand-up comedy. It's not.
But the thing with your speaking in the town hall, it's constrained. I mean, if somebody starts shouting at a stand-up gig, you can go, "Oh, fuck off, you dickhead!" You can't in the town hall. You have to have you have to do it in a more erudite way.
You don't really have hecklers in the town hall unless you're in the spine gallery.
Do you not get like people who are other councillors who disagree, kind of thing, and like interrupting you? Is that not allowed?
Yeah, you get that. You get because what you all have a microphone and you push a button and you speak, and the mayor sort of cheers it. Like I was telling you before, the mayor will shut me down a lot of the times. But what you've got to remember with the mayor is he's a Labour Party member.
Do you not think that politics, it's like Billick says, the puppet on the left and the puppet on the right?
Yeah, cool, you're getting back to the left-right paradigm again.
Is that where it is? I don't even know where a left-right paradigm is. Could you explain it for people like me who are watching?
Well, the left-right paradigm is some people they say, I'm a leftist. So that means everything what's decided in society and politics has to be from the left. Where some say, I'm from the right. So everything's decided on a right-hand side of the politics, where it's like, well, there's a lot of grey area in the middle where they all cross over. So if you nail your flag to the left, then you can't turn around and say the free market has done nothing, so I'm all for the left. The right can't say, well, socialism's done nothing for me, done nothing for society. You can't, because there's some socialistic policies and ideas what have worked well in society and over time. Mm.
Roger King posed the question. Kind of fucking found it, kind of balls. Is the job harder for you due to local spending cuts, government spending cuts? Can we do that again? I fucked it up. Yeah. I've got a question from Roger King. Is the job harder for you due to cuts in local government spending?
There's always got to be cuts and extra budgets and that. It's all about prioritising budgets, and that's where the contentions and arguments always are. Should ABC be spent on D, E and F, or should it be spent on X, Y and Z? So the budgets are always there, and when the budget cuts come in, they have been used as an excuse in Wigan to sort of say, right, we can get away with doing a crappy job. But say if I'm running a business for somebody, I've run live music venues for some people, and they say, right, Paul, there's just off the top of it, there's £500,000 for run that a year, and they turn around to me and say, next year you've got £450,000. I don't put my hands in the air and go, oh, this is ridiculous, we can't run this. He'll just say, well, clear off and I'll get somebody else who can. Yeah. If you can't run the council on them budgets what you're given, clear off and let somebody else do it.
Yeah. Do you think you'll return to being a band promoter at some point in the world?
Yeah, I was going to return this year actually. I've still got some gigs lined up at the Boulevard, so come down and have a real ale and watch some good live bands in there. There's some other promoters in there as well as me. A good local venue. Am we allowed to plug like this?
So what you want? Did you plug anything?
I was going to start again in summer, but because everything's up in the air.
June the 20th, Eagles, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My birthday.
It's looking like that's not really going to happen now, doesn't it?
June 20th, my birthday. If anyone wants to buy me a coffee, there's a link below this video. Anyway, best band you booked, what blew you away? Worst band. Are you willing to say that?
I'm not going to say that because I'll have so many people saying, I played for you at half price what I normally go out for, and you've said they're better than us, so nah, I'm not. It's like Battle of the Bands. I'll never be a judge in a Battle of the Bands as well, because it's not for me to say. If you like the band, go and watch them, pay for your ticket, buy the merch, buy the t-shirt and buy the CDs. Don't be saying these come first, second, third, and fourth.
But so you would never said the best band kind of thing. Focus was one of your best
Focus
gigs.
was brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't book rubbish bands, me, Jim. You should know that.
I used to book rubbish comedians because they was cheap, and hopefully the audience wouldn't. It didn't care what the audiences kind of. I just con the audiences really, you know. But
I always try and keep my ticket prices as low as possible. I always try and put local bands on to support the big acts.
My kind of thing was big, low quality acts as possible, kind of thing. Because they're cheaper.
Because it make you look better as well when you're on stage.
But yeah, I think you're a natural speaker, and you should do comedy again. But you're very chained at the moment. You couldn't really do it while you're a councillor, could you? You'd offend somebody.
I'm not a councillor 24/7.
I know, but you'd always get somebody there saying, "Oh, he said something about apples, and my brother identifies as an apple." Get him in for an inquiry.
Yeah, well, we have things called code of conducts, and I get a few of them. You know, and so you sort of explain yourself, and there's always somebody offended, isn't there? Or, you fly between the lines of what's acceptable and what's not. But you should always challenge your boundaries, shouldn't you?
Well, do you think at some point there'll be a backlash where people? Well, for example, that comedian Frankie Allen, who I know, old school comedian, and people have been like ushered away from kind of jokes and the modern comedy is so sterile and homogenous, and all the acts are interchangeable. When you had the old school comedians like Bernard Manning and Chubby Brown and all that kind of thing, it was very direct and.
Well, I'm an advocate of free speech. I disagree with most of it, but if you start taking free speech away from one, then they start coming free. As long as you don't, the obvious things like you don't shout fire in a theatre. Your speech should be free. Yeah. Even if one person only agrees with it. Yeah. It doesn't matter whether you agree with it or disagree. It doesn't matter if you're offended or you're not offended.
Yeah.
Because if you have speech, say if every opinion you have is correct, then you never need to listen to another opinion again, do you?
No.
How do you get to your opinion if some people's opinions is silenced? The opinions should be so extreme from one to the other. If it's abhorrent and disgraceful, then bring it out into the public arena and have it out with them. Don't be banning people off Facebook and YouTube. If what they're saying is disgraceful, get them out in the public arena and have them out. Show them up to what their opinion is. It's a bad one. Can an opinion be wrong? Probably not.
We're kind of living in a place now in time and history where if you say anything that goes against the narrative, you'll be kind of hung, drawn, and quartered. Kind of like this. All I basically said with this was it was a joke because they couldn't afford to empty the bins every 2 weeks, and I got told that they was giving quite a bit of money to gay pride. And I made a joke saying, well, let the gays empty the bins. And that effectively finished me as a comedian. I'm bitter. I'm not bitter in any way, shape or form, but I'm just illustrating a point.
Yeah, but there's a reverse to that.
Go on.
You're allowed to have your opinion, but the press are allowed to have their opinion and say you're disgusting.
But they have a platform to kind of fuck you. I can't think of it. I can't.
But they're entitled to their opinion about you, aren't they? So if you want to go out and be controversial, like I was saying to you, bring Jimmy out in the public arena and let's have his opinion out there.
I can't debate. That's my problem. I need some lessons off you to debate, because I just tell them fuck off and I'm not interested.
Well, that's your style, and if it works for you, it works for you. Doesn't it? It doesn't really work for me.
No, you can speak better than me. You come across as more erudite. I'm a bit more rough.
Well, you know what I'm saying about that?
Yeah.
You've had your opinion, and the press are allowed to have theirs. Because if you start saying the press should put me in that paper,
I know, but they shouldn't be in a position to shut anybody down.
But they've not shut you down. In fact, they give you a platform. They've given you a platform there.
What's up?
I was trying to inconspicuously tell you to sit forward.
I'm sorry, I'm leaning back, aren't I?
He's got a coach behind him here, Jimmy. I've not got a coach.
He's not really a coach, he's more of a carer.
I hope he's a private
carer. Sure I don't say anything too bad.
I hope he's a private carer, not for social.
No, we can't afford private. Gary Boardman asks, I can't answer that. I can't answer. Gary Boardman asks, what's Bob really like? Well, he didn't kind of ask that. I'll ask that question again. Gary Boardman asks, what's Bob really like?
As what?
As a colleague, a
person,
friend,
an independent colleague?
No, just what's your relation? I don't know, I'm not trying to shit stir. Yeah, what's he like? Is he alright?
Bob Bradley's the
He's
friend.
asking this question. I know he's alright. I'm just trying to I've no fucking material left, so I'm just filling the show out.
Well, Bob Bradley's a friend, and he's a fellow independent councillor in Hindley Green, where we both work. I mean, you know, what you see is what you get with Bob Bradley. I mean, the guy's community spirit's absolutely fantastic. You know, he goes out and works his ward. He spends a lot of his money on lawnmowers, strimmers, you know, giving stuff away to causes in Hindley Green.
Kids parties and
Kids parties, all that sort of stuff. I mean, the go-karts he has at the Three Sisters. And I think he's been given an unfair rap, Bob Bradley, in the town hall. I mean, some of the treatment he gets is absolutely disgraceful. We're going back into the council here. To have 2 false claims of assault and slashing the ex-CEO's tyres Donna Hall, and to arrest a sitting councillor for stuff like that is absolutely disgraceful, and that's still being investigated. Donna Hall's now gone and been cleared off, rightfully so, and hopefully Bob will get some justice, and he'll, you know, for me, his name's never been tarnished by it anyway, and people in the town have seen beyond it, because Bob Bradley's still there, doing a great job in Hindley Green, and Donna Hall's gone.
What's Donna Hall's replacement like? And is it like the Roo song, Meet the Old Boss, same as the old boss? Well, is that the lyric? You know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When I got elected, Donna Hall was only there for a few months, and I seem to be able to get stuff done. I can get stuff done. I disagree with a lot of the decisions, but I'm one of them. But it doesn't matter if we agree or disagree or get on. The idea is serving your community and serving the public, and as long as that's happening, I'm quite happy. I'm not bothered if they put me in the paper and say, yeah, this, that and the other. As long as there's a working relationship where we can get things done in the ward, I'm happy with that. And up to now, you know, Alison Mackenzie Follen, who's the deputy leader, I've worked well with her. She's met with me, she answers emails, so I don't have any issue.
So what's the future for you then? Do you see yourself as just carrying on like Bob did, like an independent councillor? Have you got aspirations to go higher up the political tree?
Well, that's not down to me, is it? That's down to the people in the Green. If they feel I've done a good job and select me, well, you know, I'll put my name in the hat. If they vote for me, they vote for me. The way I saw this was it was like a job interview. You turn up for a job, and if they want you to do the job, I'll go out and do the best I can. And if they don't want you, then you just go off and do something else.
That leads me into an interesting question from Rubber Dub, one of the YouTube contributors. Are you still a man of the people, or will you sell out? And he's also asked about Wigan market. We've kind of covered that, but at some point, will you sell out to the man, or are you going to keep your principles and just do what you do?
What does he mean by that, selling out?
Well, if they come along with a big brown paper bag saying, shut the fuck up about the market.
No. I've never been bought. I think the minute you're bought, you're compromised. It's like, no, never be bought.
You're a natural politician, aren't you? You was kind of made.
No,
you were made for this role. You can speak and you can quote facts and figures and stuff like that. You know.
Sometimes.
If somebody asked me like, what do you think? I said, well, because I said so. I wouldn't have anything to back it up, like, you know.
That's only because you're looking and reading and watching it day in day out. You know, you sort of become what you study, don't you?
Have you any advice to any younger people who have political aspirations?
Yeah, just go out and do it. You know, be strong with your convictions. You can't sort of come with these wacky ideologies and go, this is what it's all about, because politics is all about a compromise. You know, some people want to compromise too much in their favour, and you're trying to bring it back to what you feel is right. But a lot of people forget that when they're elected, they're there to represent 5,000 people. And I'll go with a policy I disagree with, but the electorate has asked me to go forward with it. They've democratically elected me to represent that opinion. And that's what you've got to do. You can't sort of say, I've been elected and I'm going to go come with my wacky ideology. You know, it might be good ideology, but if the people have elected you, democratic, you know, representation is about representing the people who voted you, the majority.
What do you think about these MPs taking £1 million expenses of people's money?
It's disgraceful, isn't it? They should have been jailed long ago. Some of them did go to jail. I mean, he's still carrying on, and that is still going on. Yeah. It's just got a bit sharp and a bit more.
What do you think about all that shit art in the galleries? You know, you go upstairs in the galleries now, the shopping centre, and it's like...
Art to me is subjective.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's crap. Well, you've no right. I have. It's my opinion. I think that art's crap. But instead of going to the public and asking the public to fund it, why don't you do what I do? I get an artist, I put it out there at a price, and if the public like it, they'll come and pay for it. I tax you, and then I go and pay for art with it, and nobody turns up to it. What right have I got to say, this is art and this is what we're paying for? It's wrong, and it drives me nuts. Wigan Councillor bought the galleries. They bought it for 8 million. They've been sat on it now for 2.5 years. What are they doing with it?
Yeah.
What are they doing with it? You know, let's get somebody in there. Let's give them free rent for 6 months. Let's get it vibrant. Let's build it up.
There was no need for a grand arcade, really, when you think about it.
No,
Was there? You had the galleries, so...
Well, there was 35,000 signatures against that, and to knock a Grade 2 listed building down like the ABC Theatre, I thought it was disgraceful.
The face of Wigan was a gift by Modus, who...
well, there you go.
You know, what kind of a gift is debatable, really. If somebody bought me that for Christmas, I'd put it in fucking spare room.
Well, it has got its spare room, hasn't it? It's not on public. Yeah. Well, it's there again. I don't mind that, you see, because Modus have bought that. It's not been paid for a taxpayer money, has it?
Yeah.
Or has it? You know.
What's the future for Wigan as a town, you think? Where we're going? As the market, did you think the markets are going... Part of globalisation, they don't want the little man making money.
No, they don't want the little man. The little man doesn't have lobbyists in Parliament. The little man, nobody gives a crap if 5 of them market stalls go. They don't have the PR machine behind them where they can advertise, you know. When Debenhams is shutting down, all over the news, you lose 30 market stalls, nobody bats an eyelid.
Do you think lockdown and do you think it was a right measure to take to shut all the local small businesses down?
Crikey.
And the effect that will have on people's livelihoods. Some people will never be able to return.
No, there's some people not coming back, and it's... I don't know what the answer is to it, really. I mean, they're talking about opening the markets up again, and this social distancing. How can you social distance in a marketplace?
Or a pub.
Or a pub. You know, 2 in, 2 out. You can come in through this door, not that door. It's just going to be so tough, and you know, people are saying there should have been lockdown, there shouldn't have been lockdown, and you can only act off information, can't you? You know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot of these scientists of the new priest class said you can't question them. The scientists have said, you know, it's like Royal London College. They've come up with this computer model. Now, this computer model's been wrong so many times in the past. Is there a chance it could be wrong this time?
Yeah.
You know, it was wrong over global warming, you know, the floodplains. It was wrong over foot and mouth, and it was wrong over the SARS epidemic. And it looks like it could be wrong now because they're only, you know, these computer models are not based on facts, are they? Whatever you put into that computer model, I don't know what information he put in there. I'm not qualified to know what information he's put in there. You know, who scrutinises this guy? And then he ends up not social distancing himself, and he's knocking off his secretary, and he's got to resign.
Got a question here from Paul F. Have I? I'm looking at the paper. I know what the question is. How's your foot? You've had a bit of health problems.
Oh, the foot. You what? You want a full diagnostic of the foot?
Yeah, your health in general. You've had heart problems. Do you think that was a CIA heart attack gun that they used to
I think the CIA could have picked on better people than me to. I know you think it's a CIA heart attack gun, what give me the heart attack, but I'm pretty sure it was type 1 diabetes for 40 odd years, and eating kebabs what did it rather than the.
You think CIA? Well, they kind of might put like thoughts in your mind to kind of make you eat kebabs by using frequencies and your legendary flattened skulls what you used to live in before you made all your money.
Well, 5 years ago they were putting quite a few of them subliminal messages in for kebabs because I thought Mamma Mia's was my kitchen at one point.
It's Mamma Mia's in Skulls, a bit of a plug there. It's almost like a family. I love Mamma Mia's in Skulls, good kebabs and that. Get yourself down there. There's actually an advert on this channel. But your health's okay at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to tell people about you. You actually destroyed my mind. I never knew what a chemtrail was till you posted on Facebook about chemtrail. And then he was always telling me about AI and they would turn us all into robots and things and stuff. And
I know, just you.
You were responsible for dismantling me as a local comedian.
Yeah, but it's one of them, isn't it? Like I was saying to you about the conspiracy stuff. I mean, it's all subjective opinion anyway. You buy into it, which you did, bad style.
Oh yeah.
You've just got to put things into perspective and say.
I mean, a lot of people now are worried about mandatory vaccines and all this and that, and the RDFI chips and all these things, and a lot of people are concentrating on stuff that may never happen. And the best thing is just to put it back on the shelf, isn't it?
That's it.
Enjoy your day, enjoy the sun, have a barbecue with not more than 6 people, if you want. You know what I mean? But it is a councillor here, so we can't go breaking government policies and things. But yeah, basically, it's laughs about the moment and trying to live in the moment in it, and not dwelling on things that may never happen. Or there's too many chemtrails and the Earth's flat. What's your thoughts on flat Earth?
No, I don't think the Earth's flat.
No, I don't know.
Well, then again, can you prove or disprove it?
I'll tell you what I think. I don't know what shape the Earth is, but how does it affect your day? You know what I mean? If you live in a flat in Skulls, you know what I mean. You drink 3 litres of cider every day, you know what I mean. It doesn't matter what shape the Earth is. Of course,
but it's like the old God question: does God exist? Well, you'll find out eventually. Just live your life well, and you're going to find out.
Do you believe in a grand architect to the universe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. All of this has not happened by chance.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's. I'm not really religious, but I'm spiritual.
Yeah. Somebody once said about the chances of all this happening by accident would be like, as it cut out that. It's you fucking away with the computer. We're trying to be fucking clever here and talk about spirituality.
Is that what you're trying to do?
It's God coming.
With the fucking camera you charge me £500 for that cuts out every 5 minutes.
It's on the 250.
Is it still filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, carry on, don't worry. That's the bit of an element. Yeah, the chances of all this happening by accident would be like a whirlwind going in a scrapyard and creating
chances of anything coming from Mars is 1,000,000 to 1, they said.
No, but you know what I'm trying to say basically is there is some design to it, and I don't know anything. I don't know much about the universe and all that, but it's not happened by accident. And
no, I don't think it's that. But I'm not going to go out there and say this is what's that, because I don't have enough. Like I said, I can't prove it and I can't dismiss it. So it goes on the shelf as long as with all the other holy books I've got and read.
All we know is we don't know. Have you any thoughts on anything? Is there anything you'd like to say to people, or anything on your mind that you'd like to get out on this platform we're building? It was more like a rickety scaffold kind of thing than a platform.
You're interviewing me.
I know, but
you want me to interview you?
No,
well,
I'm not. I know I am a narcissist, but I'm not that much of a narcissist. This episode's called Paul Maiden. It's not called me.
Is it?
Although there's the big fucking stupid narcissistic sound there.
So
don't be impressed. It's only fucking Palletwood. It's only a bit. It's amazing what you can do with Palletwood.
That can be the name of the episode.
What, Palletwood?
Palletwood.
Well, you've got
Is
to
it
go
like
through last
is it
time.
like Hollywood but made from chipboard?
It's,
Palletwood. Palletwood.
I like
Palletwood.
I like that actually.
Palletwood. I want copyright and publishing rights.
Do you know
for
where?
that
Do you know,
song.
do you know where the name Hollywood comes from? Is it filming?
And it's something to do with the.
A druid's wand is
yeah,
made out of Hollywood, and Hollywood casts a spell over people.
Right.
I think the people give Hollywood an hard time.
I thought you weren't doing any conspiracies.
I'm not going. I'm defending Hollywood in a respect. All right, there might be a kind of a corrupt side and pedo stuff in Hollywood, but how much magic has Hollywood given people? Us as kids with Star Wars and all these great films. Hollywood was. I think I kind of want to go out on a limb and say Hollywood's kind of great in some respects. The whole entertainment industry really is kind of corrupt, isn't it? I can't say anything to you though because you're still in it. Because I've been kicked out of the entertainment industry. I can say what I want basically, but you're going back in it with your band promotions.
Yeah, it's not really Hollywood, is it?
Via Zoom.
No, I won't be doing gigs.
Will you be doing gigs over Zoom? Like?
No. But that's the people have always filmed gigs, haven't they, and put them out live stream, and it's like you can go watching Black Sabbath for £200 or you can watch it on the stream for £5.
But it's shit though, isn't it?
It's not what I'm about anyway.
So do you think? I know you know no more than me, but they reckon the pubs are only going to open in Christmas or something like that. It's bizarre.
Are they ever going to open again? Is it going to keep being prolonged?
It's who knows really. They're in MI5's here now. You fucked it. You know what I mean?
Is that the 4 councillors getting the door smashed off again? I wasn't one of them, by the way.
So what went on with that? Do you know? Can you talk about?
Yeah, of course I can talk
we'll
about
just talk
it.
about it. You know.
What do you want to know about the?
Gareth Furris. What did he do? Did he expose something or say something they didn't like? So they had his door kicked in.
This was Donnell, the CEO. He's now gone, and this was part of a demise and it all started off at Steve Jones Independent in Bryn. He said he was going to resign as a councillor. Now I'm an ex-trade unionist. An intention to resign isn't a resignation. So he then changed his mind and said, I'm not resigning. Yeah, you are, Donnell. Who are you, Donnell? These are elected officials. They decided they're resigning, not you. So in theory, she sacked him. She held a by-election and they went to the High Court. Gareth Furris was his Mackenzie friend, and Gareth Furris was the former councillor in Shevington, and he helped him be a Mackenzie friend. Then he sort of won that case because.
Does that say what a Mackenzie friend is?
It's somebody who acts as a solicitor for you.
Okay.
You know, because solicitors are expensive, and somebody who's got a good legal mind, which
Yeah.
Gareth has. He came in, and the High Court judge went mad to Donnell, even though about sacking her. Because an intention to resign isn't a resignation. I mean, when I was a trade union shop steward and all that, some lad would say on a Friday, I'm sick of this place, I'm leaving, I'm not coming back. Can't sack him, that's an intention to resign because he's not put it in writing, he's not resigned. So that's what Gareth did. And then later on, everybody was getting weary and sick of Donnell and all what she was doing. You know, the deal, spending and wasting fortunes on nonsense. And then, you know, people were commenting about her on Facebook and saying she was this, she was that, she was other.
Making dirty pictures about her, but anyway.
That was you, that. And then, previously to that, she made a story up about Bob Bradley in the Green Council with me, independent, that he went into the office and, you know, caused her a lot of distress and arrested her. But Bob's a clever wily cat because he recorded...
Sorry, the camera keeps cutting out. Blame Colin for buying it off eBay.
It's rubbish, this.
You were saying about where did you get up to with the Gareth Furris?
Oh, was it Bob Bradley?
Bob Bradley.
Previously with Donna Hall, she made up a story and had 5 witness statements, which were all false. That Bob Bradley got in the, I don't know what it was, I forget because I've not researched it for a while. That he sort of, she was shaking under the table and cowering and scared. But Bob
Just that image of Donna Roll.
Yeah, exactly. And Bob went in and shouted at Bob. But Bob's a
No, Daddy.
He's a wily old character, Bob, and what he's done is very clever. He took a recorder and recorded himself going in the town hall. So when the police came round, knocked on Bob's door, we want to interview you, blah, 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 because you've done this, this and the other. And Bob said, I'll send you a copy of the recording. Boom. Police backed off. Was Donald charged for wasting police time or anything like that? Nope. And then a few years down the line, that page with our on Wigan Council, what you doing to our town, people were posting on there about Donald, who does this, who does that, who does this. And there was 4 councillors involved. You had Robert Bleakley, who was critical of the council and Donald, he's a former Lib Dem. You had Peter Franson, leader of the Community Action Party, who come close to taking, he took 18 seats from Labour back in the day. Bob Bradley, who's still a sitting councillor in Lee Green. And you had Gareth Forrest, who was a former Tory councillor, and then he moved over into independence, and he'd helped Steve Jones previously with that. And she eventually got the police to come round. Peter Franson, 70-year-old, the police smashed the doors off his house, arrested him on what turned out to be lies and made up charges, because they said he was stalking her. Donna Hall and the police said these 4 former councillors and councillors all conspired to go down to Donna Hall's house, root through the bins, slash tyres, but they don't get on with one another. They're not friends with one another. Yeah. They're all independent. There's a lot of bickering and in-house fighting with them. So they all got together as friends, went up to Donna Hall's house like a shearing's holiday, slashing tyres and all the rest of it. Arrested. Gareth Forrest was left in the cell. They wouldn't give him his medication. Collapsed in the cell or outside the cell. I'm not quite sure. Get Gareth on. I'll have a word with get him on and let him have a chat to you about it. And then this time last year, they had to drop all 4 of them former councillors and councillors getting arrested for lies. I mean, they even said Bob Bradley attacked Donna Hall with a pack of hobnobs.
I was going to ask you about the hobnob incident. What did you do, like individually, like frisbees kind of thing?
No, it was me what sort of started that off, because Donna Hall used to do these wacky common purpose training courses in the town hall, and what happened is they blindfolded somebody. This is what I've heard anyway, I don't quote me on it. And then what you had to do, I'd blindfold you, and I had to describe to you what was on the table without telling you what it was. And it was a pack of hobnobs.
Sorry, I have images in my mind.
It was a pack of hobnobs. So then what I did, this is what your £200,000 CEO Donna Hall is all about. Describing packs of hobnobs in meetings with other civil servants. I feel sorry for the people under these, people who are trying to make a living and do the best, and you've got somebody like that who's leading the council. So what Bob did at the next town hall meeting, he brought a pack of hobnobs, and he went to Donna Hall, here Donna, for your next course or meeting, whatever you're having. And she just walked off past him because I was there with him outside. And in the police report when he got arrested, it said she was attacked with a pack of hobnobs by Bob Bradley.
Just takes the biscuit, doesn't it?
Well,
if anybody needs a platform to get a grievance, I'm not like Judge Rinder, you know what I mean? If your neighbour's borrowed a fiver off you and you can't get it back, I can't go down that route. But anybody who needs a political platform, I'm happy to get you on, kind of thing.
And then your political career's finished and dead then?
Yeah, completely. You'd be fucked. You'd be fucked. You'd be just in a room full of Palletwood, you know what I mean? Thinking about your actions for eternity. Thank you for coming on, Paul. Giving you Sunday morning up to just talk.
I thought it was afternoon. I thought it was live.
There's no time in this room. It's flat.
Time is an illusion, isn't it?
No, time isn't. It is. Everything's a fucking illusion in this room.
How can you measure something?
A camera that fucking works is an illusion in this room.
Well, that's true, isn't it? How can you measure something that doesn't have a beginning or an end?
You're just fucking thieving money off.
I like, because it's in the public domain.
Thank you, Colin, for the camera cutting out mid-rant. He was killing me more, Joe. He's fucked off now outside. It just rings me up. I need some more money for something. What? Some shoes for Put Corner or something.
Is it on there, that camera?
Yeah, it's on.
I've spent half an hour talking to myself here, which is...
It keeps cutting out, doesn't it? But at the end of the day, this is underground entertainment, I suppose. I don't know the fuck it is, but... Donna Hall got me dragged into the police station because we made a picture of her
I know.
Googled. Well, we got me and somebody who I can't name. I got him to do it really. Got a picture of a girl with no clothes on and stuck Donna Hall's head on it, and I used it as the cover of a DVD I made called Live in Skulls and put it on Facebook. And I had to go into the police station and sign a letter saying I'm sorry.
I remember it well.
I won't do it again. I could have done. I wish I knew my way around the law, and I'd not really broke a law.
Was it malicious communications? Which is,
that's what they did me under.
Yeah.
I've been in trouble for the police a lot for that.
But you know, lying about being attacked with hobnobs and slashing imaginary tyres, that's not a malicious communication, is it? That's
no. It's true, but we've said goodbye to him, haven't we? Do you want to film that again? Do you want to film it again?
What, saying goodbye?
Just keep it like this, loose, and, you know, I don't want it to be fucking professional. You know, look, fuck our talk you. We don't need it.
Yeah, you need to be more
get
polished.
some fucking morning. You have got more structure than last time, but why didn't you get Colin by you in auto cue? Because Colin had bound the cut out or put the fucking language up in fucking
Braille.
fucking Tibetan. Yeah, Colin, where have you got this from? Fucking eBay in Bradford.
It's a bet in these.
Fucking ruined my life, yeah. Yeah. Thank you to everybody who got this far. No, we can't. We can't. Thank you for the artwork by Padgy Guitar and Daniel. Thank you to Wigan Council and the press for ruining my life. Thank you
If anybody does any drawings of me like that, can I have them from?
See, what it is, you see, I'm a weird narcissist with a following. If this podcast fails, I'm starting a cult, you know, based around Bitcoin.
I was thinking about starting a cult, but nobody ever listens to what I say anyway, so I'd be knackered.
I'd start a cult based around kebabs, malt loaf, sex and Bitcoin, you know. But if you want to send us any Bitcoin, you can do. If you want to donate towards a podcast and a camera that doesn't overheat, and another GoPro... Another GoPro. We have got the GoPros. We're not lying about it. You buy it's going. See, some people are very angry. I got you all to donate money. This is the GoPro. Why is there no back in it, Colin? And it's stuffed with paper. It's a real GoPro. I don't know why they're so fucking expensive, but there you go. If you want to donate to the channel, you can do. Thank you for coming in and donating your time. Sorry about destroying your career.
Yeah.
No, and if there's anybody else you know who'd like to come on, you can get, you know, quite a few people.
I'll ask it. It depends what sort of format you want to.
No, it's serious. We you know, it wouldn't be edited. Although we're having
edited. That was a part. I want it free flowing.
No, but
anti-transparency laws.
Yeah, but we have to. We've no choice because the camera keeps cutting out. But that's part of the magic of Palletwood.
It does keep cutting out. It's like.
But thank you very much to everybody. Subscribe. Which way is the notification bell? Is it? I got
put a notification bell on. I can do subscribe.
No, but like I just point like this. Last time I
thought you were doing the conga then, man.
So whichever you.
Yeah, subscribe's here, but the last time I looked like a prick because I said hit the notification bell and it was up. It was over there.
I don't know where that is.
No, I'm just about me pointing towards it.
I thought you were doing an end scene dance.
No, what about me pointing towards it? Anyway, yeah, subscribe.
Can I point to a bell?
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you very much, Paul Maiden. We'll see you again soon.